Hello, welcome to another episode of Talking Rangers. Today is Friday, January 3rd. This is Talking Rangers episode 51. Make sure to please like and subscribe. Another week of Rangers hockey down, and the Rangers are undefeated this year. They have not lost a game this year. They haven't lost a game in a year. Feels like we're back. 2-1 win over the Bruins. 2025 undefeated. Two big games coming up tomorrow and Sunday. On the road, Capitals and the Blackhawks before coming back home for the Stars on Tuesday, who they've already beat. I mean, the Blackhawks stink. Stars they've already beat. I know they lost to the Blackhawks, but that was a different time. Feels like we're back. Are we back? Joe, how's it going, man?
No, I mean, this team's not back, but
No,
I mean, they played pretty bad yesterday. I feel like, we're not trying to be like super like negative, but I mean,
yeah,
they got outplayed that game. I mean, Jonathan Quick, dude, some of the saves that Quick made were crazy. I mean, the fountain of youth is he's taking a dip in there. I mean, he's been unbelievable. And again, we kept saying it. We're like, oh, we're expecting a fall off where he might be better than he was last year. I don't know. But this team continues to play poor hockey. I mean, they played okay against the Panthers. Thought they could have won that game. The Lightning game was awful. And then, they won that game last night, but still a lot of glaring problems. Like, offensively, this team's bad, 5-5. Special teams, hasn't been great. I know they didn't get a lot of opportunities yesterday. I had that like 26-second power play. Didn't go on the penalty kill. Other than that, the 26 seconds. But I feel like the penalty kill has been a little bit not as good as it was. I mean, just because maybe they're just getting a lot of penalties. I know they're like 25th in like penalties per game or whatever. And the power play sucks. They're like 22nd, 23rd. So special teams hasn't been great. So you can like people don't really, I think, it's kind of lost in all the bad play of how bad the special teams have been. I mean, like people call us power play merchants, and then teams don't score the power play anymore. Which, the Rangers goal per game over the last like month has to be like less than 2. It's got to be like 2.5, 2.3. When's the last time we scored 4 goals?
It's been a while. I mean, probably that Penguins game right after they traded Trouba. I mean, they've only had, I think, because they had the I don't know, maybe I think so, because Panarin had 2, and then Trocheck had 1. I don't know if Trocheck. I don't think Trocheck was Trocheck empty net, and I think was it Riley Smith the other one?
All right, maybe 4 goals. That's like
and maybe an empty netter, but that was
besides the fact that they don't score anymore. I mean, you just look at all their stats. I mean, like Panarin's like just over a point a game, I think. Like Lafreniere, Cooley, Hedl, like these guys don't score anymore. I mean, Hedl had a really good game with the Panthers, but dude, Lafreniere, I mean, has completely cooled off. I mean, he is not good.
No, not at all. And especially last night, the passing that puck on that 2-on-1 was can't do that.
He's got to take a page out of Bedard's book. Just fire the puck. He never does that in odd man rushes ever.
Oh yeah, and especially recently, it feels like I don't know. It feels like just recently he's been a little bit more hesitant. Like the struggles a little bit. Maybe are getting to his head. The new contract, all that stuff. He's pressing a little bit, but you got to shoot that puck early in that game. Shoot that puck. Try and bury one. Take the lead. Like that's very unlike him. I don't want to panic about Lafreniere, but yeah, I mean it's alarming. I mean it's the age old get the contract and just disappear. We've seen this unfortunately before, but
he hasn't been good. I mean,
no, he has been.
It's been maybe 20 games or like 20 games. He's got 1 goal maybe. I mean, if you go on like a website like StatMuse or whatever, just look it up of how many, I mean, he's just not scoring anymore.
No.
Let's see, I'll look it up. Lafreniere.
I mean, he's only got 9 goals this year in 37 games, which is not, I don't think, where you want him to be.
I mean, he's regressing. I mean, he's probably on pace for like 50 points, maybe not even.
Yeah. I mean, this was a guy that you went into the year, Lafreniere-wise. Like you go into the season and think he should probably be top 3 points, maybe top 4. I mean, he's not even top 5. I mean, Mika's got more points than him this year. That's saying something.
So in his last 20 games. He has 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, -9. He hasn't
He's
scored a
minus
goal.
14 on the year.
He hasn't scored a goal since December 8th. So he's looking almost gonna be coming up on a month soon. So
I mean, he hasn't scored a goal in a year.
yeah, I mean half these guys haven't, right? Besides
No, other than Berard and
leading goal scorer this year.
Zibanejad. Yes, Zibanejad and Berard leading goal scorer. Zibanejad every game this year he scored a 5-on-5 goal.
I picked Berard to score.
He did pick Berard. Berard, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Berard. He's been a really a positive for this team, and I think where this team's at in this point in the season, you know, it would be great if they go on a run and you know, maybe make the playoffs. We'll see. I know there's probably a portion of the fan base at this point that's just like tank.
For Higgins,
I think, yeah. I think what is it? Horrible for Higgins, right? That's what you posted.
for Higgins, horrible for Higgins, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is for Higgins. Who, by the way, the World Juniors. I mean, Gabe Pro, he's looked really good. We could probably maybe talk about that as well. But
yeah,
the World Junior team
reminds me a lot of Panarin.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting, and that's one thing that you try and kind of think to yourself a little bit. Like, as bad as it's been, you watch some of these games, you see Berard doing some good things. I mean, that was an absolute snipe, and that's what you want out of these young guys. For so many years, we've seen Rangers just year after year after year after year. Rangers teams just not shoot, pass up shots like that. Berard having that mindset early in his career to just fire it early in the game and just, I mean, connect on an absolute snipe was a really good positive. You know, Will Cooley been a positive. Lafreniere, as bad as he's been the last month, he's still a long-term plan here, and he's still a guy that, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's just done. I think he's going to get out of this. I think it's just he's kind of in a rut right now. But you have Cooley, you have Berard, Hedel. You're going to have Pro coming up, right? So there still is those kind of the young pieces to this team that you want to continue to see do well, win or lose, and you try and take away from these games, win or lose. You try and, you know, kind of see try and evaluate the best you can what these young guys look like, or at least guys that are going to be here long term, like Lafreniere. I don't even know if we could really consider. I mean, it's crazy. He's been in the league now for 5 years, so he's veteran at this point, but he's only 23, so a lot of time left, of course. But yeah, Pros look great. Pro's been excellent. I'm excited. I'm fired up for what he can do next year.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
gotta focus on this year.
I mean, yeah, it's nice they won that game, but I still am in the belief that they got to get rid of Laviolette.
Yeah,
I feel like there's too many problems on this team right now as far as, you know, discipline, accountability, and just, you know, the team not playing well. And then you could go to the same old, like, oh, well, this team's gone through so many coaches, you know, it's not the coach. But at the same time, I feel like you got to make a move now, whether it's going to be you bump the team with a new coach and you make a run at the playoffs, or B, you see if you can do that. And if you can't, you got to sell off the deadline. I think they're waiting too long to make a move on him. I think they probably should fire him. I don't know what you think about that, but I just think you just see these teams where you fire a coach and you kind of get a little bit of a spark. And I just don't think the team is responding to
Bruins are a perfect example.
Yeah, I just don't think the team's responding to the coach anymore. And you could say, oh, well, it's the player issue. Well, at the end of the day, more likely than not, they're going to probably move off from a lot of these players in the offseason. So I think if you're starting a rebuild, you probably fire the coach anyway. So I think they got to move on from him. You know, could be wrong. I mean, maybe this team goes on a 10-game winning streak to start the year, but I think I'd rather them fire him, see if they can spark anything. Then you can make a run. If you can't spark anything, at least you know, at that point, okay, we're just going to rebuild, sell for the deadline. But I don't know. I think the move right now with the team down spiraling is to fire him. But, I think they're going to be a little patient, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've wanted change. We both want to change. I think you were definitely on the fire, lobby train much earlier than I was.
He made it to 2025.
Yeah, I just didn't think he did. He did make it to 2025.
Or like Vex bolts, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Vex bolts?
No, never mind. It's some TikTok thing. Just sorry.
Not hockey related, just a meme.
It's not hockey, meme related. Like the Rangers are a meme.
Well, yeah. But not last night though.
Quick
wasn't a meme. We're back. This is the episode. This is the we're back episode. Officially declaring we're back. But anyway, no, but just back on the whole, Laviolette thing. I think this, if you were gonna fire Lavi, like I feel like they would have already done it already. I don't really know what they're waiting for at this point, and I agree with you. Like the trade deadline is gonna come up soon. If you keep going this stretch of lose 3-4 games, win one, lose 3-4 games, win one, by the end of January, you're going to be done. Now you're almost done, but by the end of January, you're going to be like 9-10 points out of a playoff spot. Forget about it. 12, 11, 12 points.
Yeah.
If you were going to fire him, like, I feel like there's been so many bad losses that they could have fired. They could have fired him after that Blackhawks loss at home. You could have fired him after that Predators loss. Heck, you could have fired him if they wanted to just wait until the break, that 3-day break. You could have fired him after they no-showed against the Devils again, where this team clearly can't adjust to their game. The Devils just own us right now. Like, I feel like there's been so many chances to fire him that if they were going to do it or they were serious about doing it, they would have already done it. Now I feel like it's just up to, and Larry Brooks had an article up on this about a couple of days ago about how this locker room's like in shreds. They've lost belief. They've pretty much quit. It's a mess. And you hear all that, and yet he's still the coach. I just think with everything that's happened at this point, it feels like they would hang on to him. But I don't know. I don't know how you can keep defending this if you're Chris Drury in the front office, like keep defending defending losses like this, losses the same way, these same aren't even competitive. They're not even competitive losses. We've talked about this. They have won overtime. They've been to overtime once this year. I think that speaks volumes about this team. Like, they've been to overtime once. They're not even good enough in some of these games to even get it to overtime.
Dude, no quit New York.
No, yeah. All quit in New York. That was their new motto, right? It takes everyone.
Yeah, it takes everyone to play bad for us to lose.
Yeah. They're gonna embody this. I'll tell you what, the social media account, I don't know if it's because they're just not winning much, but I feel like they're doing so much more for wins than they were last year. Like last year, they would win games. They would win all that stuff. Now it's like you win games. They post, pictures of the locker room. Now, like today, they're posting more pictures last night.
Yeah.
All this stuff. It's like, oh my God, it's one win in January.
Yeah, barely won.
Yeah, barely won against a team that doesn't score either. 2-1. I mean, that was an opportunity. Last night was an opportunity you got up 2-0. It was an opportunity to put your foot on the gas and kind of have a nice 4-1, 5-1, blowout.
Yeah.
And we've seen this with this team all year. They'll play 20 minutes of good hockey, sometimes only 10 minutes or 5 minutes or none at all. But in games where they score early, they'll play a good 20 minutes or a good 10 minutes. And then the next 50 or 40 minutes of the game, they'll be just a non-factor. They'll just sit back and have Igor bail him out. Or last night it was Quick bailing him out. So, look, I'm all for change. I've said it. I would try and sell off as much as you can at the deadline. I mean, they've already started to start that. Or if they're going to buy, start doing it now, wherever their approach is. But, the Bruins were a perfect example of, they fired Jim Montgomery, solid coach. He goes to St. Louis. And I know they lost last night, but they've been a lot better since. I think they showed the stat. What were they, like 8-9-3 with Montgomery? They fire him, and since that point, they're 12. Well, going to last night, what are they now? Like 12-7-1 or something. Like, they've been a lot better. I'm sure still not where they probably want to be, but look, it's better than 17-19-1. That's for sure. So, I'm all for it. I'm all for change, but I don't foresee it happening. I think they're just going to ride this out. They're going to hope, like Chris Drury's hope is.
I agree. I think they'll.
And I think in the back of a lot of Rangers fans' mind is like their hope that because nobody really knows how this has collapsed. Like everyone, I think, is kind of surprised, right? You see all these clips on Twitter. It's like this was just a year, or not even a year ago. This was just 6 months ago. This just happened. Heck, even I think you posted on a Twitter account the Penguins game, right?
Oh yeah, first game of the season.
Opening night. Yeah, it was like that was just in October. So I do think there is part of this organization right now that's sort of like it's not that far off. It's not like this is a core that hasn't done anything in 2 years, or when Eastern Conference Final first round exit missed the playoffs last year, and then now they're trying to get back to that point they were 2 years ago. No, I mean this is a team that they were playing hockey into June last year, So I still think they're kind of in the back of their mind hoping, hey, maybe they can rattle off 10 straight wins or 8 straight wins or go on a run of 10 of 13 or something, which I do think
it's possible, but I don't know.
It's not because I just think that's going to happen just because it's the Rangers. They like to do that. They always tease, never please. Like this, they are going to go on a run. I still say it. I still think as bad as it's been, I would not be surprised to make the playoffs just so they could torture us some more, where they're going to go on a run. They look like they're playing well. They look like whatever happened earlier in the year, they flipped it. And then they're going to get demolished in the first round.
Against the Devils.
Yeah, against the Devils. They're going to lose in like 5.
It'd be funny, though,
like there's a good chance that
where we do it, right? We make it and we play the Devils, and then we knock them out in the first round.
It could. Hey,
that'd be funny.
Again, you did say at the beginning of the year they needed to battle adversity.
I wasn't talking about this, though.
We were not talking about this, but this is another level of adversity. Maybe this is a team that needs to just suck in the regular season, barely get in, and then turn it on.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, listen, playoff Panarin. He's going to play bad in the regular season just so he plays well in the play. Same as Zibanejad.
Yep.
So we're saving it for the playoffs.
This is the year. Just imagine that. Imagine last day of the regular season, they go all the way where they make
game
it.
82. They make it.
Game 82, they make it. And Panarin and Mika just go off in the playoffs.
That would be funny. That'd be funny.
I mean, if you told me that would happen, I'd be totally on board. I still would love for this team to go on the way and win a Stanley Cup and all that stuff. But right now, it just feels like that's all just jokes at this point. That's not realistic.
Realistically.
Do you think they'll make the playoffs?
Probably not. I think they'll be close if they hold on to everyone. But personally, I think they should probably blow it up right now.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Best long-term vision, while it might hurt more this year, long-term visions, it's best to just blow it up. Yeah.
Kreider, I think.
Now, trade away as many assets as you can at the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, reevaluate whatever you've got left in the offseason, do more there. And then, you've got Pro coming up. You got some of these young guys. And then kind of roll with, hopefully develop the next, wherever you fall in the draft. Maybe get James Higgins and, first pick, but they'll put Higgins on a line with freaking Rempe.
Yeah, I'll play the fourth line minutes.
Yeah, I'll play the fourth line. Eric back and play.
I don't know. I mean, call me crazy, but I like that vision more than kind of just keeping.
Oh yeah, I mean, what's best? I mean, the worst place to be in sports is mediocrity, right? Is getting to the first round and losing in 5? Is that really? That's mediocrity.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
if you lose in the first round, what do you like? You're not lottery eligible. You're not. That obviously means you didn't sell at the deadline. That means Laviolette's still here. Although if he got bounced the first round, he's probably gone.
Yeah,
you're delaying the inevitable.
I mean, listen, you sell off Panarin, you sell off Kreider, Miller, sell off most of these guys. I mean, you probably can't trade Igor or Mika just because they're contracts.
Yeah,
but I mean, hey, you make a run for Higgins. Imagine you add James Higgins onto this team.
Higgins and Perreault. Next 1-2 punch.
Lafreniere, Hedel, Cooley, Berard, Othman.
Yeah. That's
I mean, the forward group, you started looking at it, there's a lot of young good players, and then you can add a veteran free agency, and then you can kind of build defense. Then you can start really focusing on defense. But I think that's more the position I would go to, but I don't think they will. I don't know. I also think that, again, hindsight 2020, and again, it obviously way too early to evaluate it, but I think huge mistake by giving Igor that contract. Massive mistake.
Yeah, I think it's
He's got to win the cup.
jury's probably having.
It's a disastrous contract if he doesn't win the cup.
Yeah,
they have to.
Jury's having not buyer's remorse. He's having contract remorse.
Yeah, that made no sense. I mean, in a year where your team's struggling, you decide to pay your goalie $11.5 million. Doesn't make any sense, and you can clearly see. Not saying that any goalie can just be as good as Igor, but I mean,
no, but you don't need an elite goalie to win.
No,
Come on.
you don't. I mean,
Skinner got the Game 7 of the Cup last year. We've talked about this a lot.
It's just like it's just such a hassle. I mean, they're gonna go 8 years now where they have to have him on the team every year, right? And he can't be traded. And is he better than Hellbuck, who's getting paid like $8.5 million? No, $3 million more than the best goalie in the league. I'm sorry, that's way too much money. Maybe you want to reset the market. Okay, I guess Price got like 9.5, whatever. Give him $10 million. I still think that's a lot, but 11 going $2 million more than the highest paid goalie in history just made no sense. I mean, especially for a goalie like who hasn't really proven his longevity yet. Where, yeah, he's been great in the playoffs, but I mean, he's gone through some rough stretches last couple seasons.
Yeah, even this year.
Yeah, he hasn't been great this year. He's got like a 9.06 or something.
No, yeah, this year he's been.
Wouldn't you rather have 5-5 scoring than an elite goalie?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'd rather have. If you told me Quick was your starter playing like this for this, like next, let's just in a hypothetical world, this team was a great 5-on-5 scoring team, and you told me Quick playing at this level was our goalie or somewhere near this level, I'd sign up for that over no 5-on-5 scoring, whatever the heck we've just watched these first 3 months and Igor.
Yeah, even his best games, like
that's what Rangers do with goalies.
He's not really winning games. I mean, like you can give him credit for, I guess, for the Stars game, but like one of the games is just, the team's so bad where he's just. It's not just his fault, I'd say. Just the team's so bad, and he has to constantly go through waves of odd man rushes, and eventually he's going to start getting. I mean, no goalie in the league can stop that. So it's a Band-Aid that can't, that the Band-Aid isn't going to work that long, even just in games, not just over years. Whereas as a Band-Aid, they're having just trying to, try to give only 1 or 2 goals this game, where this team can't even score 2 goals. So I don't know. I think that was a pretty bad misuse of $11.5 million. You figure they could have done 2 solid forwards for that at the very least.
Yeah, it was that day was interesting because they could have used the whole $11.5 million and then the $8 million they got back for the Trouba contract, or freed up because of the Trouba contract. They you were a little bummed to see that's the way they used it.
At least they could have waited.
Yeah, I agree. That is one thing they definitely should have waited. I mean, they're doing everything backwards right now. They're waiting on the head coach to fire the head coach and make other roster changes. Yet they right away, once they get the money, they extend Igor, which I knew was coming. I knew he was coming back.
Made no sense though.
No. And it doesn't help your case when you see Quick play like this.
Yeah.
Heck, you even see Darcy Kemper with the Kings get shut out the Devils on Wednesday. Like, tell me this team, Darcy Kemper with a good 5-on-5 team here could win a cup.
He already has.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, already done it with the Avalanche. You could do that here with average goaltending.
I mean, yeah, Jordan Binnington's not that good. Aiden Hill's not that good. I mean, Vasilevsky's good. I guess he's
especially if those guys boost their game in the playoffs, and then you still have that good 5-on-5 scoring. I mean, this team too.
Even listen, Vasilevsky, like, he was great in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he hasn't been that good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the goalies are like hot and cold.
And even too with this team, they play so much better defensively. And maybe this is more crediting Igor because the Rangers, I guess, know that Igor's behind them. But they play so much better defensively when Igor's not out there.
I don't know. Last game was pretty bad.
Like yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it probably was. I mean, the Devils game probably wasn't great either. But like overall, they typically play better. It feels like, at least last year.
Wait, did Quick play in the Devils game?
Yeah.
And then Igor played in the first Devils game?
Yeah. Because Quick got that Montreal because it was the back-to-back. Or no, it wasn't. But Quick got that Montreal game. I remember. That was another 4-goal game.
Count them on your hand.
You probably could. We probably could count them on our hand. I mean, they did have a ton of them though.
In the beginning of the year.
Beginning of the year, they had what, 6? Then they had that 7-point goal game against Montreal. They had a ton.
They had like 6 against Detroit.
Even Utah, they put up 5, right? That was 6-5, even though they lost.
They lost, yeah.
So you could count them on your hand from since November, definitely, probably.
I don't know. I think that this team is in a weird period where, it's kind of just wait and see, I think, for this month.
Yeah, you're shifting from – they're in a time where this core is kind of nearing its end and they don't quite know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know, should we send another letter out? Do we not? What do we do?
It's like the worst part, though, because like I said, we don't know for rebuilding. We don't know for selling. We don't know. Like, it's a weird part of the season. So
very weird. And maybe that's what they're waiting for, to kind of just ride it out and then – end of January, if things are still really bad. I mean, they have that long break for the whole Four Nations Classic or Four Nations
3 weeks? 3 weeks? How many weeks? 3?
Face off, I think that's February, I think, right?
No, I'm saying like how many weeks off do they have? Like 2?
Oh, they have like 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, probably like 13, 14 days.
Yeah. So you've got that. Maybe at that point, maybe that's like their baseline where it's like at that point, if wherever they are, then they make their decision on dealing pieces, keeping, and then maybe that's where you move on or stay from Lavalette, depending on where they're at that point, because they'll have 2 weeks off. They can assess everything and potentially make moves then. That kind of be like their mini off season mid-year, and then February onward, you just roll with a new look lineup and just go into the off season and fully retool. But yeah, it's strange. It's as a fan too, it's weird right now watching this team because
it's just not fun to watch, though.
No, they're not. Yeah, they're not fun to watch. And in the back of your mind, there's a lot of unknown about this future. So it's like even when they win, it's kind of like, they've dug themselves into such a deep hole. They've played so bad that even in games they win, it's like, like last year, they were just winning so much. It was just like every game kind of was a story of its own. Like last year's team was the perfect mix of luck and talent. They would come back a lot. This year, it's even the games they win, they're not pretty, and it's also like, this team still got so many problems. Like this win's not going to do anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like they're caught in like no man's land, and this month will be.
It'll be big, and you watch some of these games too, and you wonder like, will this be it for Peter? Will this be it for Chris, right?
And Mika.
Mika, please.
He did sign a contract with McDonald's, though.
He did.
You saw that, right? My tweet.
Yeah. So, big deal.
Yeah, it was a large contract.
Maybe he'll move on from this contract and then say, I'm making enough for McDonald's. I don't know.
He'll void the rest of like 6 years left on his deal.
Yeah. It's crazy how you can count on your fingers the amount of wins this team has had in one hand since that Vancouver win on November 19th. Since that win, not counting that,
wins?
They've had 5 since including last night.
Okay, yeah.
Montreal, Pittsburgh.
Barely beat those teams.
Sabres.
Barely beat the Sabres.
Ugly. Yep. Dallas, Igor stood on his head. And last night, Quick stood on his head.
Jeez. They haven't had one game where they can. I mean, I guess the Penguins game wasn't that close, but I think it was tied in the third period.
Yeah. I would maybe say their last like really good game, just looking at the schedule here.
Against like the Red Wings? When was that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Red Wings game. They Quick had the shutout and they put up 4 goals. That was probably the last game.
That was like early November, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
or was it?
That was November 9th.
Jeez.
9-3-1 they improved to after that game.
9-3-1. The
different time.
The 9-3-1 Rangers.
The 9-3-1 Rangers.
Oh.
Remember the 12-4-1 Rangers? Yeah. And now it's the 17-19-1 Rangers.
Weren't they like 6-0-1 or something too?
Yeah, they made history, didn't they? It was like the best, or it was something like longest stretch, or right. I think they made history or something. They were like longest stretch or to start a season without a regulation loss or something. I thought because they were like 5-0-1 or something.
You think this team goes to overtime again this year? Over under 3.5
right.
overtime game. Over under 3.5. Rest of the year.
Let's see. They are 5 games left, right?
I think they played
37 games.
37 games, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got 45. I mean, they're 37 games. They're almost halfway through the season.
And they have
4 games left, and they're halfway through the season. They have 1 overtime game. And that's the second game of the season. So they've gone 35 games without overtime. So it's not crazy to say they can go 45 games without 3 overtimes. It's not crazy. But then again, there's so many 2 games where they don't score and the other team just does enough where it's one of these games, right?
They'll give a 5 or 6-5 goal.
Yeah. Or even the game they're losing. Right, that Blackhawks game 2-1. One of these games
they'll bury one.
Fourth line's gonna bury one or something.
Mika's advantage, Chad.
Yeah, Mika 5-on-5 goal. What a way to start 2025.
Yeah.
God.
I think he's first in the league in goals, right? Unless someone had multiple goals. Oh wait, no, someone got a hat trick yesterday.
It was not Mika.
It was someone on the Sabres. I forgot who it was. He's the leading goal scorer, though.
They still lost. Hey, we could be Sabres fans. My God.
The Jets of the New York Jets of the NHL.
Yeah, they suck. Lindy, such a stupid move.
Yeah, he's terrible.
They really thought he was going to do good. That was typical nostalgia. That was just going on.
It was a dumb move.
Yeah. Oh man, Lindy rough. Got ran out of town in Jersey, and then you just say, "Oh, come over here." Every year
with the Rangers too.
What do you say?
He was bad with the Rangers too. The defense sucks. He's almost as bad as Phil Housley.
Every year, it feels like we go into the season with the Sabres and think to ourselves, they're going to be decent. At least the last couple years, you're like, okay, they're going to be decent.
The Red Wings and the Senators too, though. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true. And then here we are.
He's
a one and done.
Yeah, they're going to fire him after this. That was a huge mistake.
So what do? They don't spend any money.
No, I mean they signed a couple of younger guys to decent contracts. I think Thompson's got some money on his deal.
Yeah,
I think Cousins they signed.
They've got some good young players, but just on paper they're a lot better than they are.
Yeah,
it's weird. I mean, let's be honest though, and I know their owner or maybe it was their GM. I remember joked about it how it's tough to get a player to come from Florida with the palm trees and come here to Buffalo and all their fans were going into the arena with palm trees and stuff. I know that was a joke, but it is kind of true. I mean, who the heck would want to go up to Buffalo to play for the Sabres right now? If you're a marquee free agent, who the heck Jonathan Marshall, for example, would you rather go to, Nashville's not much better, but
Nashville's a nice place to live though.
It is nice, but the team stinks. But yeah, Nashville, much better city, team with at least recent success the last couple of years, right? They made the cup, 20?
Yeah, I mean they brought in Stamkos and Shea, and
Yeah, on paper they should have been a lot better than they've been. Still good enough to beat the Rangers, but
shut out the Rangers.
Shut out the Rangers, yes. But you have a chance to go to any of those places. Who's going to choose Buffalo? Nobody.
Yeah.
Even coaching wise, other than Lindy Ruff. That's all you need to know. That was their coach, Ralph Kruger, Don Granato, and Lindy Ruff. I mean,
not good. Not good.
Not good. Especially when you see what Jack Eichel's done. He leaves there and he's better off in Vegas because he had no talent around him in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Other players are going to see that and say,
could have been New York Ranger.
He could have been a Ranger.
His advantage could have been a Buffalo Sabre.
McDavid will be. You think McDavid will be a Ranger?
Probably not. I think he'd probably stay there for his whole career.
Not even super washed.
I don't think so.
Which star right now could you see being a Ranger in 10 years?
Austin Matthews.
Yeah. When he's washed.
Yeah.
What about like you don't Eichel maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. He's from Boston,
He's
so
already
maybe go play for the Bruins.
yeah.
I could see Matthews like playing for the Rangers.
Yeah, I could probably see washed up often. washed up.
Washed up Makachuk maybe.
Yeah. Or they'll get washed. Yeah. Finally get a Kachuk brother and he's washed.
Yeah. Imagine Jack Hughes play for the Rangers.
Jack Hughes.
That will never happen.
Rangers.
That's not gonna happen.
Rangers have a better chance of going to the Cup this year than that happening.
Yeah.
Definitely. The Rangers have a better chance of probably three-peating with this core.
Zibanejad has a better chance. Wait,
yeah.
You ever think? What if Zibanejad just like? Remember when his last time he played great hockey was against the Capitals in 2019?
That is true.
5 goals.
The game.
Wait, he scored the 5 goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he scores 5 goals tomorrow and he reignites his game?
You know what's crazy? Well, yeah, what if tomorrow Mika scores 5 goals and next week we get hit with another global pandemic?
He just starts to break out and then fucking global pandemic.
Imagine that. We're gonna know what the root cause then was. It's just Mika.
Yeah, we gotta exterminate Mika.
Although the only thing is he's not at home. Capitals, the original, the real.
Yeah, but that sent him into a dull, and then game on the road sends him into like an uptick. He's back. Yeah. The man just, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm picking him to score tomorrow. He's out of goal pick jail.
All right, we should get right into the goal picks. So you're going Mika tomorrow.
Mika Magic.
He's out of goal pick jail.
I'm taking him out of goal pick only for this game, unless he scores.
I need to adjust my goal picks right now. Nothing's working.
Even you were just hammering Panarin, and it still wasn't working.
Yeah, now I should hammer Panarin again.
Just 3 Panarins in a row, and just hopefully scores 1 goal.
I might be the move just to get back on track. Tomorrow we'll go
just to see one go in.
Yeah. All I need is just to see one go in, and I'm on a groove. Just like what Sam, I love Sam Rosen and all them, but every time they are the kings of see one go in. Anytime like Mika or anybody would go score a goal, and they go through a drought, they'd be like, "That's crucial. You got to see one go in."
Scores an empty netter. Yeah, that's stupid. I don't think
see one go. Hey, that could really spark them, and then 2 weeks later, we're talking about he hasn't scored since that point.
2 months later.
2 months.
He did go 20 games without scoring a 5-5 goal. And he scored yesterday.
You know what's disappointing? Is the Rangers are giving Sam Rosen the most boring games to call. At least if they were gonna suck, like every game be 6-5 like Utah, where they just score a ton. Like these games for him have got to be a grind. It's probably like just get me to retirement. You could hear though how
I feel bad.
Maybe it's because it's been so long, but you could hear how happy he was yesterday. It feels like the Rangers win was a little extra.
Yeah, I mean that call was like they won the cup.
Yeah, you could tell he's struggling. This is probably not what this is not what he wants.
It's probably sad.
Yeah, that this is the team that's making him go out, but that's what the Rangers will do to you.
All right, what's the next game? Chicago.
Yeah, so you're going Mika tomorrow. Let me see.
You can take the Chicago game first.
All right.
Oh, I thought we were going Panarin against.
I'm still evaluating.
Okay, evaluating.
Why do I want to go Fox against? Is it just me? I feel like Fox always scores day games.
I don't know.
His only goal this year was that Buffalo game. That was not a day game.
It's also an empty netter.
Yeah, that is true. Got to see one go in.
Yeah.
Let me see. What did Fox do last year against the Capitals? 2 goals and an assist. You know what? Those 2 goals were the most he scored against any team last season. So Adam Fox tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to go Fox tomorrow. It's terrible, terrible idea, but why not?
You can double dip. You can take the Blackhawks.
Panarin Sunday. I think Panarin scores against the worst Blackhawks team.
He didn't score in the first game against them.
He didn't, but these are the teams Panarin likes to score against.
I feel like Lafreniere's due. He's right.
Yeah.
I'll go laugh, and then
Laffy actually is not a bad idea for tomorrow. Like if he gets another 2-on-1, he's shooting that now.
in the Stars game. I'm rolling with my boy. We're going Berard in the Stars game.
Berard against the Stars. Do I want to double dip Panarin?
You should dip Panarin.
He's got to score in one of those games. I want to go either Panarin or Trocheck because Trocheck scored against Dallas.
He did.
So I kind of want to go Trocheck. I feel like he's got to go on a heater eventually. Like I feel like he's due to break out. I feel if there was one guy on this team that hasn't played up to expectations that would start to, it'd be Trocheck.
To break out.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go Trocheck. Right. I'm gonna play it smart. Play. I'm not gonna go risky Panarin 2 games in a row. Just gonna go Trocheck. Already scored against them, so we're gonna roll with that.
All right. Rangers are undefeated in 2025.
What I will say is though, they're gonna go 3-0
in the next 3 games, or just in general.
3-0. We're back.
They're gonna be 4-0 then. Or you're just saying?
No, well, yeah. I mean, like 3-0 over the next 3.
So,
but 4-0 in the year.
So they're gonna rattle off 4 wins to begin the new year. All right, We'll see. Hopefully they're not 1-3 the next time.
Yeah, nah. They'll probably be 1-2. They'll beat Chicago. They'll lose to the Capitals and probably lose to Dallas.
All right, we'll see.
They might. I don't even know. I don't know what to expect. But they are on a theme right now of like losing 3, then winning 1, then like losing 4 and then winning 1. So maybe tomorrow's the start of another 3-game losing streak.
And then, hopefully not.
And then they beat the Devils.
Maybe.
But this is it though. Win 3 in a row and then get smoked against the like the vibes are back. Big game against the Devils at the Garden.
Jackie scores 5 goals.
Yeah, and then just get demolished. And we're back to square one where this team stinks. No defense. Can't beat the Devils. Devils own us. Jack Hughes own us. All these Devils burners on Twitter will be, oh, Rangers fans, what happened? All this stuff. The Brat Pack.
I know we didn't talk about this, but like, do you think we can wrap it up after this? But you know how like after the game that Igor got pulled, he kind of just left. Did you notice that against Florida, where he just like left the bench and just didn't come back till like later in the game?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that had something to do with him getting put on the IR, or you think he definitely got hurt because of that lingering hit?
I don't know. I mean, you do make a good point. Like just leaving the team, it was more disciplinary thing.
He's a little banged up, maybe, but then they also want to,
yeah.
Well,
yeah, I was gonna bring that up actually earlier, but just never got to it. I don't know if this is more like if he is a little banged up,
or just giving him time off.
Yeah, or if they are just giving him time off, kind of a phantom thing because he hasn't been playing that well.
I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see.
But no, yeah, you do make a point. I mean, he did just leave. It could be that, but that just makes the contract look worse. Then,
yeah.
If we're just gonna go, leaves the game and then just gonna go phantom. Like you're hurting, but you hurt more than you are. I'm gonna put you on IR. But anyway, any other thoughts?
No, I feel like hopefully we get 2 wins this weekend.
Yes, 2 wins. Take it day by day. Just two big points. So at the end of the day, all we need 2 points. So that'll do. We'll be back next week, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned.